Hey everyone, so I just got in my solar battery wireless security camera and we're going to check it out. And for reference, this is the camera I'm referring to, and of course I'll have a link in the description for anybody interested. So it looks like it's well packaged, just to start. So I have an instruction booklet, one of these 24-hour surveillance stickers that you put in your window. Let's check out the rest. This looks like this will be our solar panel and our camera piece. So here is the solar panel piece. Looks nice and flat. You can see it's very compact in size. Probably about the size of a small little tablet. And I'm talking about those little handheld small ones, smaller than a child's tablet. It looks like a USB-C type little port that this will plug into. The electronics for hooking up our actual camera. Looks like the mounting hardware for our camera. Screws. And of course the camera itself. And here's just a close-up of the camera. As you can see, it rotates. We have like an antenna for the wireless signal on each side. A place where we're gonna hook the mounting part up. So you can see the bottom. And of course, here's our camera itself. You can see it goes up and down, and it's gonna rotate side to side. Don't forget to peel your plastic off once you have everything set up. So let's give this a go. One thing I do want to point out that I noticed while I was about to set this up is there is a spot for a micro SD card. So I'd recommend getting one if you don't have one already, so that way you can actually get clips of your recordings. So right there at the top of your camera, just easy little slot to put that in. Alright, so we got everything plugged in. So initial setup, just hooking things up, super simple. I mean, the instructions are very easy to follow. Put the little backing piece on. Open the little flap back here to plug in your solar panel. And of course, follow the instructions, which is all pretty self-explanatory. So now I'm going to go back. I'm going to actually download the app. It's available in Apple or Google Store. And I guess that's how I'm going to have access to the camera. So I've got my camera all set up. All I have to do is actually just go mount it where I'd like it. Personally, I found setting up this camera a bit difficult for me just because I'm not as tech savvy as my husband, but he was able to figure it out with ease. The good news is, however, during that process, I was emailing back and forth with the company, and they actually sent a really helpful YouTube video and information, and they were quick to respond. So while I personally found it a little difficult to set up based off my tech skills, I appreciate the company's willingness to respond and be helpful to make it a little bit easier. So if you're not as tech savvy, it might be complicated. If you are very tech savvy, this should be super simple. Regardless, the company is responsive and helpful as far as getting this set up and helping you do what you need to do. So with that being said, as far as the camera itself goes, it's actually pretty decent quality. I had to do a full charge on it before getting started with everything as per recommended from their instructions. Here's my solar panel, which I've been having in the window while I test things out. So that's going to get mounted up outside, I believe. And we're going to set this camera up outside. And we're going to see how that goes and holds up in the weather. But aside from that, the image quality, while it's not top notch, it is actually decent quality. One thing that is a little bit tricky is this is where you find your power button. Your power and your reset, and you can put a micro SD card, SD card. You do not need an SD card to actually operate the camera. You just need it if you want to capture recordings and be able to go back and look at stuff. Without that, you'll only be able to use the live view option. With that, you also, these are your buttons right here, one on each side. One's your power button, one is the reset button. You look very closely in the light and there's like a little icon. So let me see if I can see this for you. So right here on this side, this is the power button. And then over here is your reset button for anybody who can't see and might need that information. You can also have an alarm go off on the camera. It's not super loud, but it's loud enough to be annoying where it would catch your attention for sure. It also has motion detection. You can get notifications whenever there's motion, which it works out perfectly. We like to play with it a little bit with my cats, where we're actually, when you view the camera on in the evening, I saw the light was coming on, and my cats are entertained by that. So I'll include a quick little clip to show you that little feature. But yeah, so I can hear the sound coming from wherever. If I'm in a different room, I can hear sound wherever this camera is at. So far I'm actually pretty impressed since I've gotten past the whole setup process of it. So hopefully I can get this set up and mounted and we can really try it out. So as you can see in the footage, it actually gets a crystal clear view outside. So I actually think it works better outside, especially with the natural light, compared to being inside. But it's definitely durable, well made. Overall, I'm actually liking this camera a lot more than initially thought. Like I said, setup was frustrating personally for me. However, once everything got started, I am actually very happy with the camera. So the only thing I need to do now is just find the perfect placement for how I want it set up in my yard. I know I want it somewhere in my yard, but I'm trying to figure out what's going to be the best solution for our needs. And I love that it's solar powered, so we don't have to worry about a battery, climbing through the attic and doing hard wiring, none of that. You just follow the instructions, reach out to customer service if you're having trouble like I did. And then just mount up your camera. See, there's a place where you can mount it up here, and then mount up your solar panel, and that's it. You're good to go. Being in my yard, even though it's connected to my Wi-Fi, I actually have very good signal and I can connect without any issues, so that's really great. So I guess only time's going to tell how well it holds up with the southern weather that we have down here, with a bunch of storms and heat and all that good stuff. So that's going to be a test over time. But until then, thus far, the actual functionality of this camera, where I can record, take pictures, store it, and all that good stuff, I love it. So, of course, as usual, there'll be a link in the description for anybody interested to learn more or possibly purchase one for themselves. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment, and I'll do my best to answer them based off of my experience. And there it is. It's mounted up. Works perfectly.